You cannot watch every single keystroke your child types like a hawk. But the good news is you don't have to. You have 4 jobs instead. I'm about to share the entire parenting posture for the AI age in 4 simple steps. Frame, filter, flag, and schedule. The truth is that we cannot watch every single keystroke. None of us want to become hovering helicopter parents, so don't even try it. We've already discussed that we are here not to completely lock out this technology and pretend it doesn't exist and go off the grid, but also not to just throw our kids to the wolves of Silicon Valley and hope that they survive. We want to find a middle path, a path where the parent is the guide. Just like we teach our children gradually to become more independent in dressing themselves, in feeding themselves, in eventually managing money and leaving the home. These are the types of skills that we expose them to through a gradual transfer of responsibility. The more that they rise to the occasion, the more accountable they become, the more privilege and freedom they unlock. And the same should be true of their online life, especially when it comes to AI. So I want to explain exactly how we build HiFam AI and why these are the 3 key things that we need to offer our children when it comes to AI. Here's the thing. Most of us are still stuck in the paradigm of regular screen time. We think our kids are watching things on the screen like Disney or Netflix or YouTube. We think that they're playing games on a screen. All that kind of passive consumption or even engagement in social media can be pretty much limited. We can put blocks on it. We can just say there's only half an hour a day and limit the amount of time that they're exposed to it. And that has been the traditional parental controls thing when it comes to screen time up until now. But the difference here is that the AI isn't just about time exposure. It's about relationship. When your child chats with an AI, they are essentially experiencing a relationship like they would with a human being. It feels like they're talking to someone, not to a robot. It doesn't feel like Call of Duty or like Mr. Beast on YouTube. It feels completely different. It feels like a friend. Think about the influence that friends have on children. Think about how peers become their entire world around the age of 7 as they move into that age of socializing, and even stronger in the tweens and then teen years. Kids find peer influence to be the most powerful influence. And that's why all of the parental control paradigms now fall flat, because it's not about just limiting their time on ChatGPT. It's not about just setting hard limits on Claude. It's actually about making sure that this relationship aligns with your values. And that's where the first element of HiFam AI comes in, the frame. If you think about it, all of the major players in the AI world, from Grok to Gemini to Claude to ChatGPT, have been trained. They've been trained to answer in a certain way. So if your child asks them tricky questions like, what is a period? Or what's the definition of a woman? Or what happens after we die? Or is God even real? It's going to answer those questions through its frame, through its training, through the values set by the boardroom in Silicon Valley. They've decided which truths your AI should present to your child. They've decided what is acceptable and is not acceptable to say. And those things may or may not align with your worldview. The truth is that whether you're very locked into it and very aware of it or not, you have a set of values. You have a belief system. You have a belief about science. You have a belief about medicine. You have a belief about the afterworld, about morality, about good and bad. You have a belief about Western civilization, or about what is appropriate for a 10-year-old girl to wear, or about whether a 16-year-old boy should be allowed to go out until midnight. You have certain beliefs. Some of them you might hold very dearly and strongly, and some of them might be more implicit and vague in your mind. However, the chat, whatever AI it is that your kids use, is going to bring their beliefs forth and not yours. Now, when we're raising children, part of our role as parents is to offer them guidance in this world, not to just leave them like they are a complete blank slate, like they're starting from scratch and they have to reinvent the wheel on what it means to lead a good life. The truth is that as uncomfortable and icky as it feels to many modern parents, it is absolutely our role to offer them a moral compass, guidance, a pathway forward, to help them understand what it means to lead a good life, to differentiate right from wrong, to make decisions about what they do with their body, with their health, with their time, with their resources, about what constitutes being a good friend, or how they should celebrate the holidays in December. All of these things actually matter. Those are our worldviews. Those are our values. That is our family culture. And that is the role of a parent, is to impart that for their child. But when your child creates a relationship with a raw AI, all of those values can become undermined. If you have a certain belief, say, about promiscuity, the AI might completely undermine that belief and lead your child down a rather radicalizing path, potentially, or simply open doors to them and help them think through things and open their mind to things that you disagree with, that you think are unsafe or unwarranted or immoral, that they don't even know, because they're not bringing it to you. They're bringing it to the AI. We already discussed the stats on that, right? And that's why HiFam AI allows parents to frame the conversation. You talk to the AI, you talk to HiFam, and you say, hey, this is our family. You can say, we're Catholic, we're Hindu, we're Buddhist, we're Muslim. You can say exactly what denomination you're from. You could say you're secular, that you're more scientific, that you're more liberal or more conservative. You can say what nationality you are, whether you're patriotic or not, what books you like to read, what heroes you follow. Who are the role models that you would want to inspire your child? What type of values you really want the AI to promote? Because AI, just general AI out there, might feel neutral, but it's anything but. It's being trained on very specific values. They're just not your values. HiFam puts you back in the driver's seat. Now, you might be thinking, Avital, this is weird. I don't know how to code. I shouldn't be meddling with the, cogs and screws of this machinery. I don't know what to even say. And should I really be dictating the values to the machine? But I have two answers to that. You decide what this thing is for your family, your values, your purpose, your in this house we, your mission statement. An AI that is pointed at your family's frame is a completely different animal than one that is pointed at an engagement algorithm that just wants more minutes. The frame is yours to set, and most parents never even realize that they're allowed to, nay, that they should. The second thing HiFam does that your regular AI won't do is that it filters. It filters the conversation by age and by readiness. The truth is that tomorrow, your 5-year-old could get on ChatGPT and ask them about bisexuality or about a threesome or about some gory details of some violent death. And the chat would not know it's talking to a 5-year-old. And it would answer your 5-year-old completely and explicitly in detail. And then it would cheerily follow up with, want some more information on that? But in HiFam AI, not everything reaches every kid yet. We do this with phone usage, with friends, with sleepovers, with books. We limit things by age appropriateness. But AI doesn't do that until HiFam. So when you tell HiFam that your child is 7, it remembers your child's age and grows with it. And it will give a 7-year-old a different answer than it will give a 15-year-old. You can decide that your 15-year-old is allowed to explore certain topics that are more explicit or more scary in nature, but it will still do so through the frame of your family's values. When a younger child asks a question that seems inappropriate for their age, the chat will direct them to have that conversation with their parents, saying gently, hey, this is something your mom and dad would love to talk to you about. Why don't you ask them? That is something that raw AI will never do. And number 3 is it will flag for you. If your child is being radicalized, is looking for topics on self-harm or on some extreme ideology on AI, you would never know. They could go down really scary rabbit holes. They could be indoctrinated. They could be encouraged into all sorts of harmful behaviors. But no one's ever going to tell you, the parent, because the AI doesn't even know it's talking to a kid. On HiFam, every account is fine-tuned to that child. So if your child expresses some kind of concerning idea, asks questions that are a bit worrying or a bit off color, says things that you should know about, HiFam will flag you. You will get summaries of your child's chat, exactly what's on their mind, if they're really spending their time researching their homework, and what weird questions they're getting into on that thing. These are things us parents really do need to know. And it's not about surveillance or invading their privacy. It's about being there to protect them if things go off before they go off the deep end. You want to know when something's off. A worrying question, a strange pattern, so you can step in and parent, not police them. The goal isn't catching them, it's being there when it counts. And being invisible when it doesn't. This is how we allow children the gradual freedom that eventually will train them in using this tool responsibly. And finally, on HiFam, you can do regular old parental controls. You can schedule. It has a beginning and an end. It's a tool you pick up and put down, not a bottomless feed that you fall into and get addicted to. We've actually trained the chat to behave like a tutor and not to create that sticky engagement behavior that keeps kids glued to their screens forever. It's bounded on purpose. The single biggest difference between a great tool and an attention trap is that one has an end. And here's the bigger idea hiding inside that last one. Schedule is about the tool having an end. But the most important boundary in your house isn't on the device at all. It's the time when there are no devices. Protected, non-negotiable, screen-free time. As I've already mentioned, this is something we do in our family every single weekend. We take a full day off screens, adults included. And that's one incredible way to protect our children from the future of AI, because they know that they are able to spend time in their community with their pets, playing games, throwing the ball, without a screen even in their pocket. Because here's the thing that nobody building these tools will tell you. The best thing you can do for your child isn't another app for their brain. It's the time when they are on no apps whatsoever. Jonathan Haidt calls the phone an experience blocker because every hour spent on it is an hour not spent in the real world. Building a shelf, getting bored, playing a board game, burning the cookies, falling asleep. The screen doesn't just add something bad, it can also crowd out things that are good. And that's why the HiFam AI doesn't create addiction and engagement. It actually encourages your child into your family's values. Get back outside. Get back into the book that you're reading. Go and seek out real friends. Go and help your mom with chores. But even with this family-friendly technology, I do recommend that you hold some real boundaries around screens. Here are some for inspiration. No screens at the table. You could say that we protect family dinners because at the family dinner, we have face-to-face conversations, we promote critical thinking, human connection, community, service, duty, contribution. Meals are for faces. No screens in the bedrooms overnight. The phone sleeps in the kitchen, in the living room, in a charging station outside the bedroom. That's where it can't steal an hour of sleep from a kid who just wakes up at 2 a.m. Sleep is actually one of the very first things that these devices take, and it's super critical that we protect this for our children and for our family. And I recommend that you also establish one bigger block. A screen-free evening, a screen-free morning, a screen-free weekend, a week of screen-free vacation in the summer, a time when everything goes dark. And I promise you, even though you think it's going to steal your productivity or the kids are going to become unbearingly bored, it's incredible what this hard and fast boundary creates. Time for imagination, for wonder, for exploration, and for real connection. These aren't punishments, and they should be true for the adults too. They are the protected ground where every single thing in this course comes to light. The critical thinking, the people, the boredom, the community, the connection, the handiwork, the craft, the mastery. The real conversations actually get room to happen. This boundary isn't the opposite of a good childhood because all my friends are doing it. It's the boundary that protects a good childhood. Now, we built our entire HiFam product on these words: frame, filter, and flag. Not because they're a cute acronym, but because when I went looking for a tool that would do these jobs with me, I came up empty-handed. There was no AI that was geared towards protecting children. It didn't exist, so we built it. HiFam.ai allows you to do those 4 jobs seamlessly so that you're not alone in this world of unprecedented artificial intelligence. So this is how we allow our children to harness the unprecedented power of the world's most advanced technological innovation, to be part of this revolution, to master it, to understand it, to grow alongside it, to use it and utilize it as a trampoline that can catapult their future forward. This is how we allow our children to be exposed, but in a way that is guided, that is framed up, that is filtered and that flags us if something's going off course. This is how we don't have to lock it out or just invite it in and deal with the consequences, but rather create a bridge between those two extreme worldviews. This is how we can offer middle-of-the-road engagement, learning, opportunity, without incurring quite so much of the cost that the overuse and the addiction to raw AI might create. This is how we encourage their entrepreneurship, their real-life relationships, their physical handiwork, and also offer them the use of AI in a more filtered way. We give them the AI that's going to tutor them rather than just spit out the answers for them. That's not the hovering, over-controlling helicopter parent, but it's also not the hands-off, mildly negligent parent that just leaves kids to figure it all out on their own as they turn a blind eye to the real costs. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to apply this age by age and stage by stage. I think living in this age of AI is an incredibly exciting time. I'm not someone who's wishing to raise my kids in a hut off the grid. Well, maybe for a few weeks every year, but not all the time, because I think technology is exciting. It's lowered the barriers of entry for so much entrepreneurial innovation. It's offered us access to worldwide knowledge, and that's something that our grandparents could only have dreamed of. It's allowed us to build things that we used to need millions of dollars and giant teams to build. And I'm a living example of that. But I'm also not someone who is turning a blind eye to the very real costs and dangers to our children. I know that it can radicalize them and indoctrinate them and become addictive and lead them down dangerous paths and even replace real-life human relationships. I know that it's the children of prosperous and peaceful societies that are the most technologically progressive that actually suffer the most from things like anxiety and depression. I know that children do need to be protected from big tech companies that are only incentivized currently by profit. And that's why we've merged these two awarenesses into HiFam AI. Don't let the algorithm raise your kids. This is the first AI that is trained on your value. And I firmly believe that you as the parent are the expert on your child and your child's needs. I believe that you should be the one to train the AI in your values. I believe that our technological tools should advance and promote our family-first values, that it should be trained on your worldview, on your belief system, and help to actually be the wind beneath your wings in raising your children. It should support the family culture that you're trying to create, not be the wind at your face and undermine it. And that's why we created HiFam.ai.